Welcome to Sofia, the capital of Bulgaria, a proud republic with a long and successful tradition of individual sporting achievement. This week hosting the latest round of an event which truly celebrates that ideal, the UIPM 2018 Pentathlon World Cup. Pentathlon, a multi-skilled challenge which sees athletes put to the test over 5 disciplines in one day. A 200-metre swim, the round-robin épée fencing with extra points available from the bonus round, the riding where they all face the challenge of an unfamiliar horse, and finally the combined event, the laser run, a unique, exciting and tough test of all-round Olympic ability. 142 of the world's very best athletes here to battle for points. At this, the closing round of the series, places still to be secured for the World Cup final in Kazakhstan. The men's World Cup final holder, Valentin Prade of France, is back after injury and unlucky to just miss out for this week's finals, but optimistic for the future nevertheless.
My foot was injured at last year's European Championships, which made me miss the World Championships in the beginning of this season. But I'm back. My objective is to get back into the swing of things, starting with the European Championships in July. I was really proud to win the World Cup final last year, especially because it was the second time for me, having won it in 2013. Unfortunately, because I have only competed once this season, I won't be able to compete in the 2018 World Cup final and defend my title, but I know that other French athletes will be there striving to bring back gold, so I will watch them live from home on UIPM TV. My goal is to get a medal during the European Championships in July and the World Championships in August. I'm also getting married this summer, so everything is good for me. My long-term objective stays Tokyo 2020, especially after my 4th place in Rio. I really want to bring back Olympic gold.
79 men fully focused on qualifying for the finals, but just 36 will successfully do so. Among them this time, Robert Kaza of Hungary, who's understandably pleased to have made it through.
So this is the first World Cup, which I'm in the final. I'm excited because, the first competition always shaky, but honestly, the most important competition are just coming. So the European and the World Champs, and I try to do what last year I accomplished, 2 silver in the European and the World Championship. So if I made it this year, I will be very happy. It was quite good feelings because that was my first individual World Championship medal. So I try to catch these feelings every year. To be a Hungarian pentathlon is quite a big deal. We have a long history, the modern pentathlon. Start with András Balczó. He won 5 times World Championship individually, and he had János Martinek and Fabian Joel, and I can say more people. So we trying to catch the old ones and bring the results year to year.
Well, time now for the action from the men's finals as we head to the pool to join commentator James Zanidakis.
So Hungary's Robert Kaza taking part in Heat 4, a heat that was dominated by Jung Won-tae of Korea in lane 6. You can see him storming ahead there in the white cap, finishing top of the heat. In second place, though, it was Robert Kaza of Hungary. Over then to Heat 5, the final heat of the day, and the fastest swimmers from the men's qualification times. And it is James Cook of Great Britain leading the pack in the centre of your screen there with the red hat. A very quick swimmer, and you can see just how far ahead he is of the other swimmers. James Cook then of Great Britain leading the way in Heat 5, just making his way towards the finish line now. A time then of sub 2 minutes. In second place, Jung Jin-hwa of Korea. There then is classification of the top times for swimming, and James Cook leading the way.
Over then to the fencing ranking round. Plenty of points up for grabs, athletes competing in 35 bouts against each other, and Korea doing well as always. Lee Ji-hun with 22 victories and just 13 defeats. Youngwon Tai with an impressive swim, backing that up with an impressive fence, 20 victories and 15 defeats. Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe of Ireland, joint first, 23 victories and just 12 defeats. In the bonus round, each victory adds an extra point to the competitor's score. The early stages of this round were dominated by a hugely impressive performance by James Cook, who notched up 8 consecutive wins, coming close to the record of 11 held by Ukraine's Pavlo Timochenko. Cook was eventually knocked out by Mexico's Alvaro Sandoval, as we now hand back to our commentator James Zanadakis for the final stages of the bonus round.
We start then with Lee Ji-hung from Korea on the left-hand side of your screen, getting victory over Marvin Dog, who'd already had 2 victories prior to this bout. Lee Ji-hung then facing Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe of Ireland in the penultimate bout then of the fencing bonus round. Confident fencing all day by the Irishman, and he gets the victory in this round 2. Great support for the Irish as always. That then is Natalia Coyle, Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe's girlfriend, high-fiving some of the Irish team in the crowd, because this is the final battle of the fencing bonus round. It decides who will win overall. 2 points will be up for grabs in this final bout. Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe on the right-hand side of your screen, Alexandra Lifanov of Russia on the left-hand side of your screen. The winner of this will take the overall lead in the fencing heading into the next round, and it is Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe who gets the touch. And ultimately then, that means he gets the victory, making contact with the outstretched foot of Alexandra Lifanov there. And there then is confirmation of the standings after 2 events. And it is indeed Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe leading the way ahead of Ji-hung Lee of Korea. Time now then for the riding, and the athletes given just 20 minutes to familiarise themselves with a random horse. Not a lot of time, considering they then put their trust in that horse to get them round the riding course, starting with 300 points, losing points for knocked over obstacles and also for time penalties. Here then is Gergely Rigos with a near perfect score. No obstacles collided with, just 1 time penalty, giving him a score of 299 points. Now then, the turn of Jung Woong Tai, who of course got gold in Hungary, doing very well here in Bulgaria. Another near perfect score, just 2 time penalties, giving him an overall score of 298 points. Alexandra Lifanov, who has been on very good form so far here in Bulgaria, a score of 300, absolutely perfect from the Russian. No collisions with obstacles, no time penalties. Good stuff from him. Not so good news for Lee Ji-hung of Korea though. Gold, of course, in Los Angeles earlier in the year, and in a pretty good position heading into the riding, but a few mistakes, collisions with obstacles and a couple of time penalties as well, meaning he only got a score of 277. Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe, though, from Ireland, has been a cut above the rest so far, leading the overall standings heading into the riding and putting together a very solid ride. Just 3 time penalties from the Irishman, giving him an overall score of 297 points. This then is the standings after 3 events, and there you can see Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe well ahead with 844 points, and that of course turns into time difference. 14 seconds ahead then of Alexandra Lifanov from Russia. So time now then for the laser run, the combined discipline that combines, of course, running and the laser shooting. And it is Ireland's Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe who gets things underway. A 14-second advantage over Alexandra Lifanov in Russia. Lanigan O'Keefe then at the shooting range. He's going to need a good shoot to consolidate that early start. Here then is Lifanov arriving at the shooting range, but Lanigan O'Keefe is off to a good start. 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5, and he's away. What can Lifanov do though to keep on the pressure? That then was Jung Woong Tai of Korea just making his way to the shooting range. So Jung Woong Tai is away, as well as Alexandra Lifanov. That there, the front of the screen, is Patrick Dog off to a good start. Also Pierre Desjardins, number 12, getting off to a good start. We're then back with our battle for second place, and Jung Woong Tai overtaking Alexandra Lifanov. As we can see, Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe making his way to the shooting range on the second lap. This then is Lee Ji-hun from Korea, just slipping back a little bit, starting in 4th place. He was, of course, a gold medalist in Los Angeles. Flanagan O'Keefe then is away at the shooting range in the 2nd lap. Livanov still keeping on the pressure, as is Jung Wung-tae of Korea. That battle for 2nd and 3rd then is heating up, and you can see a lot of athletes in with a chance of a podium. But it is Jung Wung-tae of Korea who gets away. Flanagan O'Keefe still out in front. Lee Ji-hun, though, losing a few more places, struggling to keep up with the top 3. That's then Robert Kaza ahead of that little group of runners. Flanagan O'Keefe currently in a league of his own. Never finished on the podium before, could be on his way to his first ever World Cup gold medal. That is Patrick Dogg, who's doing a very good job. Started in 14th place, making his way up through the field. This then is Ilya Palaskov. Meanwhile, we head back to our leader, Flanagan O'Keefe of Ireland. The 3rd lap, and he's away in absolute control of this final event of the day. This is the battle for 2nd place. Jung Wung-tae of Korea is away then, and he's certainly opened up a bit of a gap between him and 3rd place. So Livanov's away in 3rd place, but that is Pierre Desjardins just whizzing past your screen, up from 12th place into 4th place now, as Flanagan O'Keefe in total control. Jung Wung-tae of Korea still in 2nd. In the back of your shot there, you can see the battle for 3rd. It is, of course, Pierre Desjardins from France putting pressure on the Russian. Alexander Livanov started in 2nd, is now down to 4th position. This then is the battle for 3rd position. What a run by Pierre Desjardins, putting pressure on the Russian. And we head into the final lap. It is Desjardins in 3rd at the moment. There goes Flanagan O'Keefe. He is away. Jung Wung-tae still in 2nd. Can he keep his cool to hold on to that silver medal position? He's away. And in 3rd place, Pierre Desjardins, who is also being pressurized by Alexander Livanov of Russia. So we're just seeing all the athletes competing their final laser shoot. This is the business end. 5 events over the course of one day. It all comes down to this, the final lap. Flanagan O'Keefe of Ireland still on track for gold. In 2nd place, it is still Jung Wung-tae of Korea. But here in Bulgaria, in the men's individuals, it is all about Flanagan O'Keefe of Ireland, who takes gold, his first ever World Cup gold. In 2nd place, it is Jung Wung-tae, who backs up his gold in Hungary with a solid silver medal. And in 3rd place, it is Pierre Desjardins of France. What a fantastic run from him, making his way up from 12th up until 3rd position.
So a spectacular win for the Irishman. More to come as we return after the break with action from the women's and mixed relay finals. It's time now for the women's individual finals. Swimming, traditionally the first of the day's events, and a chance for those who are strong in the pool to carve themselves out a head start to the day. Success already in the men's finals for Ireland, and as we find out, Natalia Coyle will be hoping to add to that tally.
The last couple of weeks I've been away a bit. I travelled over to Millfield, England, where our fencing coach is, and I did a good bit of fencing training and just made sure I kept my head down and kept the running going and everything like that, so just ticking all the boxes. The first World Cup in LA went well for me, and I'm hoping to build upon that today and then, hopefully qualify for World Cup final, and I'm looking forward to each competition. It's quite an unusual sport, I think, because we're so used to kind of travelling with everyone in the circuit, and then you get to know everyone the whole time, so it is kind of like seeing all your friends all the time, and then when you step on the piste it's competitor, but it is really nice to catch up with everyone. Every day you think about Tokyo. The Olympics is the pinnacle of our sport, and I suppose most sports, and every day you think about when you're training, that's what the goal is, and the end goal is Tokyo 2020.
So time now for the all-important women's finals and the pool as we pick up with the action and hand over to commentator James Zanadakis.
Well, Bulgaria's been kind to the Irish so far, and Natalia Coyle, you can see there in Heat 3, finishing 3rd overall to make sure she keeps up with the top of her heat in Heat 3. This, though, is Heat 5, and there you can see Chloe Esposito from Australia, gold medalist at Rio 2016, also a gold medalist in Hungary in the previous World Cup, and you can see her currently in 2nd place at the front of your screen in the yellow hat there, making a good go of it. It is, though, Elodie Clouvel of France currently leading the way at the 2nd turn. This then approaching the final 50 meters. Still Clouvel on the far hand side of your screen out in front, but she does seem to be starting to tire as a few of the other swimmers starting to close that gap. Keep your eyes there on Chloe Esposito of Australia at the front of your screen in the yellow hat. It's going to be a good battle in these last few meters of the women's final swim. Chloe Esposito is really on a charge. She could be about to take 1st place here if Elodie Clouvel of France continues to tire. It's going to be right down to the line. I'm sure it's going to be a photo finish, this one, but it looks like it's going to be, yes, Chloe Esposito of Australia taking 1st place. Elodie Clouvel on the far left-hand side of the screen in 2nd, and in 3rd place it is Samantha Murray of Great Britain. This then confirmation of the results from the swimming. Chloe Esposito just ahead then of Elodie Clouvel. Samantha Murray in 3rd. Time now then, as always, for the fencing ranking round. Some decent scores across the field. Elodie Clouvel with 20 victories and 15 defeats, meaning she was in 8th place overall. Tamara Vega from Mexico with 22 victories and 13 defeats. Marie Orteza from France, 22 victories and 13 defeats. Kate French of Great Britain really improving on her swimming score. She got 26 victories and 9 defeats, 2nd overall. Natalia Coyle, though, of Ireland with 27 victories and just 8 defeats, meaning she is top of the pile heading into the bonus fencing round. The bonus fencing round, the chance then for athletes to pick up a few extra points. A good little run can make the difference heading into the riding. But we start, of course, with Sarah Pignatti and Elodie Clouvel of France. Elodie Clouvel getting the win to take her into the next round. Over then to Orteza versus Kate French. Kate French is going well at the moment, and an extra few points I'm sure would be very much appreciated for the Brit. So Kate French on the right hand side of your screen, Marie Orteza from France on the left hand side of your screen. Good defence this from Kate French, and just getting down low and getting the tap on the leg then of Marie Orteza of France. That then meant it was a final showdown between Kate French and Natalia Coyle. There is our Flanagan O'Keefe, Natalia Coyle's boyfriend, just keeping tabs in the crowd. This then the final battle, Kate French versus Natalia Coyle, 1st versus 2nd, a double tap there, so they'll have to reset and go again. So the battle resumes. Who is going to get this final bonus fencing round victory? It is, of course, Kate French, who will pick up an extra 2 points, bringing her to 3 points in total for the bonus fencing round. You can see here, there is the touch right into the neck then of Natalia Coyle. It is, though, Natalia Coyle with a lead, 535 points over Kate French in 2nd, who has 524 heading into the riding. So no perfect scores in the women's riding, but that doesn't mean there weren't some very good rides indeed. Yuliana Batashova from Russia putting in a good showing of herself, 295 points to the score, just 5 time penalties. The course a little bit wet for the women, so that's reflected in some of the overall scores, and you can see here Tamara Vega of Mexico, just 1 contact with an obstacle, a score of 293. Marie Orteza of France also putting in a good score, 5 time penalties, but 295 the overall score. Kate French has been on great form, hasn't she, for Great Britain? 294 her score, 6 time penalties, no obstacles to collide with. All smiles there for the British athletes. But Natalia Coyle from Ireland, she's been leading the way so far throughout this event, and a near perfect perfect ride for her. 7-time penalties, a little bit slow, but 293 the overall scores for her. That's putting her top of the pack then after 3 events, ahead of Kate French, who will be starting 10 seconds further back. Of course, points transfer into time. Marie Ortega completing the top 3. While heading into the laser run, France's Elodie Clouvel forced to retire through injury. He was in 6th position, but having to make way due to that injury. It was, though, Natalia Coyle from Ireland who would be starting the event off, followed by Kate French in 2nd place and Marie Ortega starting off in 3rd position. Here then is Natalia Coyle starting things off with a 10-second head start over Kate French in 2nd place. So Natalia Coyle making her way to the first laser shoot. Kate French already on her way, though. Who will keep their cool in this women's individual final? Kate French versus Natalia Coyle at the moment, and it will most likely be Natalia Coyle that gets away first. Kate French seems to be struggling just a little bit then on this first laser run, but she's away as Ortega makes her way to the shooting run. Tamara Vega in 4th place. There then is Natalia Coyle, our runaway leader at the moment, in control and controlling that pace. Athletes, though, queuing up to potentially take a podium place. That's then Kate French making her way around the course, hoping to put a little bit of pressure on Natalia Coyle. That's Tamara Vega, also hoping herself to finish on the podium, starting in 4th position. This, though, is our leader, Natalia Coyle, as we approach the 2nd laser shoot. She's still got a bit of a lead over Great Britain's Kate French, who herself has arrived at the laser shoot. Who will get away first? It's looking like good stuff from Natalia Coyle. She is away then. If Kate French is going to put pressure on her, she's going to have to do it on the track. And she has closed that gap then as we head in to the start of the 3rd lap. Not much of a difference between Natalia Coyle and Kate French in 2nd place. So, who is going to keep their cool? Neck and neck on the 3rd laser shoot. Kate French looks like she might get away first, and she does. A change in lead. Kate French of Great Britain is out in 1st place. Natalia Coyle dropping down to 2nd after controlling the race for the first 2 laps, and Kate French is starting to build a bit of a lead. Maybe she can start to see the finish line in the distance. This then is Juliana Batashova, who is up from 5th place to 4th place, battling for a podium position. Kate French then on the final lap. If she can keep her cool here, it'll be a straight run to gold. Natalia Coyle keeping the pressure on. 2 out of the 5 for Kate French, make that 3 out of the 5. A good shoot from Natalia Coyle here will certainly put the pressure on, but Kate French is away then. 5 shots of the laser shoot done, and she is on her way potentially to gold. Can Natalia Coyle keep the pressure on? Kate French just out ahead at the moment, and there you can see Tamara Vega, who slipped back a little bit, but Kate French just with a glance over her shoulder at Natalia Coyle, who is giving this everything, but I'm not sure she's going to be able to close that gap to Kate French. That there is Juliana Batashova, who is in 3rd position after starting back in 5th place. But here then is Kate French making her way down to the start straight finish line. She is victorious here in Bulgaria. Victory for Kate French, victory for Great Britain. In 2nd place, it is indeed Natalia Coyle, started in 1st, and in 3rd place, it is Juliana Batashova of Russia.
I just did what I had to do, and yeah, it came out well, and yeah, really happy.
This then, confirmation of the final results. Kate French victorious for Great Britain. Natalia Coyle in 2nd place. Juliana Batashova in 3rd. On then to the final event here in Bulgaria. It is, of course, the mixed relay. The men and women joining forces in a final attempt to win gold for their country. The morning then starting in the pool. 13 teams taking to the water over 2 heats. The fastest time of the day came in Heat 2 as Japan's Tomoya Maguchi and Misaki Uchida took the win in a time of 1:55.81 ahead of the Russians and the Irish. Over then to the fencing ranking round, with the Czech Republic coming out on top, 29 victories and 15 defeats, although Korea kept pace with just one less victory. In the bonus round, the Czech Republic were ultimately victorious, although they had to stop a good run by the Russians in the final bout. They won their previous 4 matchups to take an extra 4 points into the riding. No perfect scores in the riding, although a few came close. The Czech Republic needed a good score to keep them in first place, and they delivered. 284 points were enough to ensure they went into the laser run with a 9-second lead over second place Korea. Japan a further 10 seconds back. So on to the grand finale, the combined laser run. The Czech Republic keeping their cool. A solid run, a composed shoot meant they ran home for gold. A thrilling battle for second and third pursued, coming right down to the wire. Egypt holding on to take silver after starting 5th, with Belarus completing the podium.
Thanks for joining us here in Bulgaria. We'll end on some amazing images from what's been a spectacular event. If you want to see extended coverage from Sofia, join us online at uipmtv.org.